Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC coming from one of my favourite filming locations, talking about one of my favourite things in life, and that is backpacks. Yes, I'm not even a closet, I am absolutely a massive raging bag nerd, and one of the other beauties of today is talking about one of my favourite companies out there, and that is Able Carry. As far as backpacks are concerned, I'd like to think that the people at Able Carry are all raging bag nerds as well, and I've said that several times about them in the past, and I certainly mean that as a compliment. So yes, what we're here today to look at is the Able Carry 13. So they've had the 13 now for quite some time, quite a few years. But in 2024, they've recently done an update to this. Now, I will say at this point, so I didn't, or I haven't had any experience with the original. So this one is completely new to me. However, I think some of the updates that they've made to this, you know, I can certainly walk you through those. Less of me rambling. Let's turn the camera around and take a closer look at the Able Carry 13 backpack. As we usually do, we'll have a look at some measurements, some materials, and then we'll have a look around the actual features of the pack itself. Now, you may have guessed from the naming convention on this, this is the Able Carry 13. This is a 13-litre backpack. Kind of, just a little bit. What they've actually done is they've rounded it down. So the original 13 was pretty much spot on 13 litres, but one of the bits of feedback that they added was just to add maybe a little bit more height to this. So it is a little bit taller, which adds an extra half a litre roughly to it. So it's kind of 13, let's call it the 13 and a half, but it doesn't sound as nice. So that's why they've just continued with the Able Carry 13. As far as the dimensions are concerned, from top to bottom, it comes in at 450 millimeters. Across the sides there, it comes in at 270 millimeters, and it is 170 millimeters deep. The materials that this is made from, there's actually two options as far as the materials are concerned. So the version that we have here, this is made from the X-Pack material, and there is also another ripstop version of this. So depending on which one you go for, there are options. The differences between the weight on these, if you go for the X-Pack version, this comes in at 670 grams, whereas if you go for the ripstop version, it's ever so slightly less, it's 650 grams. As far as the colours are concerned, this is the forest green version. There are also there are 4 different colours. There's kind of a grey, there's a couple of blacks depending on whether you want black ripstop or black X-Pack, and I think there's a blue version as well. Now, continuing with the materials on this, all of the materials are high-end. The webbing on this is this really nice, tough seat belt style webbing. All of the zippers on these are YKK zippers. They are reverse stitched, and the RC style newer zippers as well, which also means that they're a lot smoother. That's not to say that the original YKK zippers were particularly prone to snags, but these newer YKK versions, these newer RC versions of the YKK ones are incredibly smooth and snag resistant. All of the hardware on here is Duraflex, so all of the buckles on the side so that you can extend or shorten the straps, and also the sternum strap on here as well, which has a nice magnetic closure, which will, again, we'll have a look at that. Now, as far as the front of this is concerned, it has a very minimal kind of look and feel to it, but it does still have some very nice features on here. So first one being on the left hand side, or at least on the left hand side as I'm looking at it here, there is a nice little pocket. So at the moment I have my car keys in here, but if you wanted to put a bottle in here, you can do. You can fit a Nalgene bottle, a 1 litre Nalgene bottle in here. It has to be one of the slimmer ones rather than the shorter, dumpier litre ones. If you go for one of the taller ones, you can fit a 1 litre in here. The 750 millilitre ones or the half litre ones fit in even better. But if you also have an umbrella or something like that that you want to put in here, you can do that too. Some additional nice little features in this pocket. So the first one is that if you were to lift this part up here underneath, there's these little daisy chains. So if you want to attach anything to here, maybe you've got some car keys, which will make sense a little bit in a moment. If you want to attach something on the outside here, you can do that. Also, this flap here, so this is this kind of material continued. It's just folded over here and then stitched. Now, rather than just stitching that in, they've actually used this space. So if I put my hand up here, the end of my fingers are here, which is where that ends. So if you have something that's maybe just a little bit longer, maybe you're cycling into work and you can get it in there and then loop this over the top, it'll just make sure that it's just that extra little bit more secure and hopefully won't fall out. But you also have a nice little Hypalon highlight here, which says able carry on it. Now, just behind this fold, so they've used this fold, so this is kind of part of the expansion, so that when you put more stuff into here, it expands forward. But using this fold, they've also put another zip pocket in here. So I have my hat in here at the moment, but this is really nice lined with this square ripstop material, which is really nice. But this is pretty big, so this goes, so it's not just from here onwards, so it goes kind of over here. So where this zip is down the side, it's maybe say 30mm from that zip. Same on this side, it's probably about 30mm away from that zip as well. So if you do need to put a larger item as such, so if I, for example, my hat here, if I wanted to make sure, for some strange reason, I'm like, ooh, I have to keep my hat always flat. Oh, well, that rhymed. Then I can put it in there and that will fit. Nice additional little feature in here is you have a small key stay. Now, when I first got this, I was like, I like these key stays, they're great. You can put your key on there, but if you don't want to take your key off and you need to get to the door, this could do with being maybe 30mm longer. It doesn't need to be massively longer. However, and this is what I meant about that daisy chain on the other side, they've done this in such a way, you can take this off. So there is a sewn loop on this end, which you can then pass. The carabiner through. So if you wanted to, maybe, you could put it on here instead. And then that way, if it is that you're always getting your keys out, or maybe you've got a locker key, then you can have this on here, and now it is easier to be able to get to the door. When you're not using your keys, you can push them down there, they'll stay in there, and they'll be in there nice and fast. Again, you'll probably find that I will say this a lot through this piece of content, but it's these small little details that I feel for Able Carry, this is what separates them from a lot of other bag manufacturers. Now that's the left hand side in the front. Turn this round to the right hand side. There isn't an additional pocket on this side. Instead you have a sewn loop on here, so if you did want to attach something to this, then you can do. Now there are a few of these sewn loops. So there's one here on this side, and then when you come up to the top where the grab handle is, I might as well talk about the grab handle. So the grab handle is really nice and big. It has a piece of kind of, I don't know what it is actually. I don't think it's foam. It's pretty tough. It's not kind of squeezable. But this is great. You can kind of grab this and yeah, you can throw that around. But to the original point was, so you have some additional sewn loops here on the side as well. I think as far as your daily commute is concerned, a 13-litre bag like this is great. And maybe you want to attach something to the side. It could be a water bottle, it could be anything, it could be an umbrella. You might even attach your gym trainers to the side as well. You could do that. You're limited to clearly 13 litres, so you're not going to be able to put a massive amount in this, but if you wanted to, it's great that it's got these side loops so that you can attach additional parts to it. Now the zippers to the main section, as I mentioned, these are the RC YKK zippers, and we've got double zips on this, so depending on whether you want to have your zips on the left and the right, there's options for you there. Now what I am going to do is, I'm just going to turn this over over, mainly because I want you to be able to see inside as much as possible. But there is also, and I love this, I will come back to this, there is also a smaller pocket here at the top. So if you want to put any valuable items in here, maybe you want to put an air tag or something that's trackable as well. You know, bags do go missing from time to time, and this pocket is one of those that's hard to find. You have to, you have to turn that over to get to it. So if somebody's going to steal this, generally they'll take whatever's in it and they'll just ditch it afterwards. That's kind of what these people tend to do. Certainly not going to resell a bag. So hopefully it will mean that you'll be able to find your bag. But a nice little hidden pocket here at the top. On the front here, there is also an additional pocket you can put. So at the moment I have, because I have been using this to go to work with, I have a spare set of glasses because I'm of an age that I need to have some glasses to read now. The size on the inside of this, so as I mentioned, so this is a 13-litre pack. You can still get quite a bit in here if it's for a daily commute, or maybe it's for a nice minimalist kind of city break. So I have my tech pack in here, which I usually take to work with me. But if I need to take my jacket off, I can put my jacket on in here, not a problem whatsoever. I can, it's just kind of those extra items, but you're not going to be able to put, say, like your gym kit in here. To help with the storage in here on both sides, so there's one here on this side and there's another one on this side as well. So I have my little, I have my pencil case in here at the moment, but you have these additional pockets, so you can put a drink into here, or you can put an umbrella into here, or as I've used here, I can put my pencil case in there. But again, look it in. It's still pretty big. I will say 13 litres is still a great size. Behind here, so for me, I have my books illustrative tablet that I use quite a bit at work, and there's a separate tablet pocket here in here, which is great. And then I can put my stylus down there on that side as well. And then behind here, there is a dedicated laptop sleeve. This will fit a 14-inch laptop. Unfortunately, my daughter needed to take hers to school with her today. However, I can confirm that a 14-inch laptop will fit in here with ease. On the inside, so this is padded as well, so whatever is in front of this will stay, or at least this will protect your laptop from whatever is in front. And also on the inside, you have this really nice soft felt lining, so if I wanted to, I could also put my tablet in there instead, and that would keep that screen nice and protected. Now on the back panel, let's just get these straps out of the way for now. A fairly flat back panel. It's made from the same X-Pack material that the rest is made from. You might find that this will get a little bit sweaty in the summer if you're out doing long walks. If you're using this in the winter, or you're certainly in an area that it doesn't get too hot, I doubt you'll struggle with this. There is some channeling through here to allow some air in, but I will say that it's reasonably minimal. This is just the stitching that's on the back there. And then across the top here, there's another very small, very discreet Able Carry logo on there. Now on the, I suppose this is my right hand, I'm not sure what side this is for you guys. You have another little pocket. Now this pocket goes all the way into the back here, and pretty much, so my thumb is there all the way down to about there. So if you have other items that you want to put in the back here, especially if you're on a city break and you're worried about people getting into any of the other areas, you can put your mobile phone in there, you can put your valuables in there, and certainly not have to worry. When it's closed, you can push the zip in on the side like that. So on this side, you have this fold, and on this side you have the same fold. So they've been able to make that side zip a little bit more discreet. Again, just in case you're in an area that you're concerned about people trying to take things out of your bag. One of the other updates has been to the straps that they've done with this. They've updated the foam that's in here. Kind of feels like a closed cell foam. There's a lot of really nice spring back in this. when it wears. I will always say about Able Carry, their straps, they're very simple, but there's just some kind of magic that they do to them, and they carry incredibly well. Now, after the actual the foam that's in the padding here, there's a couple of other little nice features that they have on here. Hopefully already you'll have noticed that there is a sternum strap on here. I know a lot of people take the sternum straps off. They don't particularly like those. You can do that with this. So on the inside here there is a ladder system. For me, I'm 5'10", I have a 48-inch chest. So the straps on the side, there's maybe an inch or two left on the straps. As far as the fitting is concerned. So for the ladder on the sternum strap, it's right on the very bottom one. However, if you are a smaller frame and it does sit a little bit lower, then you can lift these up. Now, hidden behind here, there's also a nice extra little feature. Sorry, it's here. It's here. So if I just grab my card, so if it is that you commute on a daily basis and you have a rail pass or you have a metro pass, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is for your local area, and you have a card, there is a discreet little pocket here. Now, I will say, whether you're a lefty or a righty, there is also the same discreet little pocket on the opposite side as well. So for now, we're just looking at it on this side. But if you imagine, so this pocket, so you push it into this pocket and then slide it down. So it's not just sitting there waiting to fall out. Instead here, you push it in, you can kind of feel where the pocket is within there. Push it in, just give a little tap down and then that's in. That is not coming out unless you put your hand in, pinch it, lift it and then pull it out. So for your daily commute, rather than having to take your card out, it's just there in the strap, which again I think is a nice little feature. Now, as I mentioned, as far as the length of these straps is concerned, there's probably about an inch or two. In fact, so there you go. It's now at its longest. It's even further. It's probably down into the nape of my back. It's probably a little bit too low for me. I like to have it a little bit higher. That's probably about right. It's just off my belt, and I suppose that's the most important part. It's off my belt, so it's not going to be rubbing on that. But again, so whether you prefer something that is for a smaller frame or let's say a female frame, this is great. However, if you're still after a small, very nice bag that you can take your essentials out, this is a great bag for that. And it's a great bag in the line of products as well that that Able Carry have. For me, so for my favorite bag is the Daybreaker. This is almost a mini Daybreaker. So if you're after that kind of bag, but just kind of scaled down as well, yeah, this is the great addition to their lineup. I want to say a huge thank you to Able Carry for sending this to me. I have a great relationship with Able Carry. I've made quite a piece of content for them. So I just want to stress at this point, you know, I have been questioned about this. So the relationship that I have with them, if I didn't like this bag, I would say to them, and then they'd make the decision whether they wanted to me to make some content. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Able Carry. They are bag geeks, and I'm a bag geek, and they make bags that I think are for people that like bags. And yeah, really happy with this. Now, what I'll do is I'll leave some links below so that you can see more from Able Carry of the 13. Or I think now they only have the 13 2024 edition. I don't think they have any of the legacy kind of 13 backpacks available. So it is just this version from now on. And then you'll be able to see some of the other backpacks as well that they have. I'll also leave some of my social media links below so you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC, and also my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. But for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Shall I? Nah. And that is backpacks. Yes, I am a backpack nerd. no. I don't know what I was going to say for them for a second. I was actually going to use a word that rhymes with snore with a h at the beginning of it. But I thought a backpack snore might have been wrong. Maybe the wrong choice of words. Huge backpack nerd, and today. Let's start again, children, shall we? From one of my favourite filming locations, talking about there's a helicopter now. Why? Oh, magazine in my pocket from the last thing we were recording. Let's wait for the helicopter to go over, shall we, old chap? What? Keep those lips moisturised. It's important. Remember, fellas, stay moisturised. Oh, that's a big one. That's a Chinook. That is awesome. Boop boop. I don't think that's what Chinook pilots do, but they're the lorries. They're the kind of the trucks of the world, flying, rotary wing world, maybe. That is a beauty, absolute freaking beauty. Anyway, where were we? Doing Spider-Man hands there for some strange reason. Boo boo. Spider-Man doesn't make those noises, but you know the gig. Hopefully no more helicopters flying over as well. Should we do the walkie-walkie thing into the camera?